Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Peter here. Today's video is a brief overview of my first impressions of the house Hendley Perfumes. Hendley is created by the perfumer. He's a self-taught perfumer from Brooklyn called Hans Hendley. Carlos from Brooklyn, fragrance lover, actually did kind of like an interview kind of thing and hung out with Hans. We'll link the video to Carlos's chat with Hans in the description if you want to watch that if you haven't already done so. Yeah, these actually have really impressed me. I think he's got obviously a very natural talent. All of them to me feel very well blended and thought out, and you can tell time has been spent balancing them very well. So I'm going to give you kind of a rundown. The first one I'm going to talk about is called Bourbon. Hans actually sent me a little snippet of information about this one, so I'm going to read you it directly so I don't screw it up. It's called Bourbon firstly because it uses the bourbon vanilla bourbon. So here we go. Bourbon is named like that for two reasons. One is a vanilla dominant fragrance featuring the bourbon variety of the bean, but then the idea is extrapolated by the use of cognac essential oil, and the whole perfume is then aged in a toasted oak barrel in just the same way as whiskey, so it picks up the toasty, woody notes and kind of pushes the button of the nose of a nice bourbon whiskey. So I think that's an amazing idea to have, so I'll let you know how it smells. So what I immediately get in the opening is some soft spices, and I definitely get the vanilla and the woodiness. I think the cognac is muted. It's not particularly boozy. You're not going to be confronted with a blast of alcoholic kind of vibes. It's very smooth and incredibly well blended. That's the best way I can describe it. It's woody, it's spicy, it's vanilla-y, but the vanilla is not like a gourmand sweet vanilla. It's dry and more the woody and timbre, but really nice. I think it's excellent. It would be an excellent winter and fall fragrance for the evening. It's really lovely. It's very good quality. I think it smells great. And if you're a vanilla lover, and especially if you're kind of a boozy vanilla lover, then I think this is worth checking out. So the second one is called Rosenthal. So this one, I immediately get the rose, but the rose is soft and delicate and almost verging on like a pink rose rather than really dark red rose. I would say it's feminine. It could be unisex depending on how you feel about roses, but I think this is actually very beautiful. It's very soft and it's just so pretty. That's the best word I can describe this fragrance is. It's very pretty. There is a definite powderiness to the fragrance without particularly smelling of makeup. It's not the powderiness that like dominant iris can be like powder. It's kind of more dusty, like almost imagine a rose powder. It's not particularly cosmetic in feeling. It's more, I would say, more like talcum powder. I think that's the best way to describe it, is maybe rose scented talcum powder. But it's lovely, it's really nice. I think that's a really good fragrance for a woman. Personally, it's too feminine for me. I'm sure there are guys that would be happy wearing this, but yeah, I think it's very pretty on a woman and a great ladies fragrance. I would say actually you could wear that all year round, any season, day or night. I think it's really lovely. If I ever do a favourite women's fragrance list, I think that will be on it, definitely. I think it really is lovely. Next up we have Jade. This one confused me when I first smelled this one. It opens up to me kind of almost minty. I mean, for a second it has like toothpaste vibes. It's very kind of minty and green and fresh and clean. But there's more going on. I don't think the toothpaste that makes it sound bad, but it actually smells really good. And I'm actually not a fan of green fragrances, but there is a definite kind of fresh, kind of minty vibe to the fragrance, and it's quite green. It's an interesting blend. I mean, it's kind of minty and fresh and green. It's also slightly floral. There's geranium in there. It's also kind of slightly almost soapy, so it's kind of an odd combination, but I think works quite well. For me, it smells like spring and summer in the daytime. Very easy to wear, very, very safe, easy kind of, if you want to call it a compliment getter, I think it's kind of more mass appealing, put it that way. And yeah, a good hot weather fragrance. Very refreshing. The next one and the last one that I have is called Amaura. Oh. So Amaura opens up really beautifully. It has this strawberry opening, or it smells like mixed fruits and candy, and very pink strawberry-like smell. It's not overly sweet, but it's definitely a sweet candy kind of vibe. It's actually, now I smell it again, it almost has cherry nuances, like maybe a mixture of strawberry and cherry. But it will make you smile when you smell it. It's tasty, it reminds you of being a kid, it's playful, it's sweet but not overly too sweet. It's fruity and just lively. It's really tasty. There's a couple of extra notes in here. You have ambergris, you've got rose, you've got white tobacco, and you've got resins and musk. So I personally think this is my favourite one. Not all the time do I like sweet fragrances like this, but I think this one is just, I don't know, it appeals to me more than, you know, it doesn't smell like candy floss, which I'm not keen on in fragrances when something just smells of candy floss. This is more kind of strawberry, cherry, fruity kind of vibe. I think this is unisex, leaning on feminine. I think a woman would smell better with this and very attractive. I would really enjoy smelling that on a woman. But on a man, I think you can pull it off. Depends how you feel about, you know, fruity kind of sweet candy fragrances. But I mean, I've smelt men's fragrances that are far more sweet and candy-like than this is. So yeah, this is actually another house where I have tried the line and there's not one that I dislike. So maybe we're hitting on a trend here. But yeah, Hendley is a thumbs up from me. I think all of these four are very well blended, very enjoyable, very easy to wear. There's nothing polarizing. There honestly is not a bad one. They all smell great. I would recommend getting samples of these and just testing them out. If you're a woman watching, my personal recommendation would be check out Amaura and Rosenthal. I think they're beautiful and would smell very, very beautiful on a lady. If you're a guy, I would recommend checking out Jade and Bourbon. Although, to be honest, I think either or, you know, any sexes can pull any of them off if you want to. I don't think it's sex specific. They would just be my preferences if I had to pick. Bourbon would also smell great on a woman, so would Jade. So bear that in mind, but just my initial impressions. I'm looking forward to testing these fully, letting you know about the changes and how they perform. First impressions though are very good, and yeah, I'm impressed. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I will see you again in the next video. Take care.